Welcome to Twin Takes with Twins for the Win.
I'm Blythe.
And I'm Camille, and we love Hallmark Channel and Great American Family and just all those rom-coms that make your heart smile. And today we have our very first guest, co-creator and producer of When Calls the Heart, and producer of the spin-off Hope Valley 1874, and so much more. Mr. Brian Bird, welcome to the podcast.
Hi guys, so nice to be with you. Happy to be on your podcast.
Yes, thank you for having us. So we actually got to meet you last year at the Hallmark Christmas experience, and that was really exciting for us because it was like right when we got there, we just saw all these Hearties rushing around, and then we were like, "What is going on? Oh my gosh, it's Brian!" And then we got to meet you,
Yes.
and it was so exciting. Got pictures, and then thank you so much just for agreeing to do this interview and be our first guest. I mean, it's something we wanted to do for a long time. And so, yeah, I mean, we
Well,
didn't know when we would get our first guest, and we're so excited that now you're here and we can do this. And then we also met
yeah,
your wife, Patty, and then she was like helping us with the Young Hardy's Facebook page. And
right.
y'all are just so sweet. So,
Well, thank you. It was such a pleasure to meet you guys in person and see the love that you have for One Calls the Heart and all these kinds of projects, all the all the great movies and shows on Hallmark Channel and some of the other channels. So very cool to be with you. Happy to answer your questions and happy to support young Hardys everywhere. You know, One Calls the Heart, has a lot of young people loving and watching the show. But I would say most of the fans are probably in the sort of the boomer category, like I
yeah.
am.
Yes,
So
sir.
to have millennials, to have Gen Zers, and everybody from sort of a younger generation to support the show and to be fans of the show and to love the values of the show, that means so much to me. So thank you guys for being so loyal to the show, and I'm excited to be on with you.
Oh, yeah, I think
Thank
it's
you.
so special that there's not a lot of fans like us, like from Gen Z, but we actually have gotten to meet like some really close friends. Like last year at the Hallmark Christmas experience, we met some other like Gen Z Hardy girls like us, and then we were really connecting. And so,
Really
um,
special.
we're just wondering, like, how do you think When Calls the Heart is like helping newer generations, like
Mm.
maybe some of the values or like just some of the values that When Calls the Heart has. How do you think it helps the newer generations?
Well, I think the values of Hope Valley and When Calls the Heart and programming like this are hard to find, to be honest. Now, if you watch the Hallmark Channel or Great American Family or some of the other Up TV is another one. If you watch those all the time, you're going to see more content like that. But when you compare, the content of these channels and these networks to the rest of what's out there on all the channels, all the platforms, there's not a lot of content that like When Calls the Heart that will be uplifting and also you know prompt viewers to ask themselves questions about how do I become a better person? How do I be a better member of the community? How do I help others? Not every show does that. Most shows sort of make you question the world and come off as very cynical. And so we've always believed that When Calls the Heart, 1874, When Hope Calls, other projects that I've been involved in, some way back that you guys are way too young to even know what they are, that but I've always felt like if we could lift people up as opposed to push them down or you know make them feel bad, make them feel like they need to take a shower after they watch what we're doing. We don't want that. We want them to
Yeah.
aspire to something bigger than themselves. And so I think that is for everybody, not just boomers, not just older folks, but for everybody, for Gen Zers, for our, for um, everybody. You guys, even Gen Alphas, right?
Yeah.
Should be able to benefit from this kind of content. And I do think that the reason why it's so well received and so successful, has become so successful, is, for one, there's not a lot of competition for these kinds of values. There's not everybody's doing it,
Mhm.
but also I do think it's genuinely food, like it's nourishment for the soul, and I think when you can't find that food elsewhere and you find it on One Calls a Heart, you want more of it. Like it's like when you find starving people and you give them food, they will love you.
Mhm.
And it's not more complicated than that, truly. It really is about us providing something that other people aren't providing. And I think that's why it works so well.
I love that. That's so good and it's so true. I love that analogy because it really is just like just a show so that comforting. Feels like another home and that we look forward to coming back to season after season. We started
Mm.
watching I think it was 2020. Yeah,
Wow.
we found it on Netflix when it was still on there. And
Nice.
I think we watched, was it seasons 1 through 5? Yes. And then we
Mm.
found, I think, yeah, it was like before season 8 was gonna come out. So we found like the other seasons somewhere else and then caught up live. We just fell in love with it. And now we've been
Mm.
like rewatching all the seasons and just love all of it.
Well,
So,
it's so cool. I think that we hear from a lot of Hearties uh, at the Hallmark Christmas experience. We hear from them when they come up to Vancouver for our annual sort of fan gathering up there called the Hearties Family Reunion. We hear from them. They say things like, "We wish we could live in Hope Valley," like,
mhm.
and that for us is very meaningful because it means that we're doing something right and we're are giving some value to people, like good values, but also bringing value to their life. And so, for people that want to live in 1920, like, right, uh, not too many people would say that, but the community is aspirational. There's something about people lifting one another up, always being there for each other. They don't always make all the right decisions. Sometimes they make mistakes, and then they have to find a way to apologize or repent for some of the mistakes they make. But they always seem to do the right thing. And when I was growing up, when I was your guys' age, there was a show called Mayberry RFD, the Andy Griffith show first, and then there was a spinoff called Mayberry RFD. It was a black and white show way back when I was a little kid.
So fun.
But when you watch the show, even if the characters didn't always do the right thing or they made mistakes, you always knew at the end of the day they would do the right thing. They would come around and do the right thing. And I think that can be said, of One Calls the Heart. That you always know that the characters are going to come around to do the right thing. And that's refreshing. We don't read about that much in the news. Like not everybody does the right thing. A lot of time people they do the wrong thing and then they hurt themselves and they hurt other people. So we think the show is a model of doing the right thing, and we need that. Like we all need that, more of that.
Yeah, definitely. Just a good, wholesome show that inspires us all to be better people. So let's take it back, like all the way to the beginning, because some people, and I don't even know if we really know, but like, how did the whole show begin?
Wow. Well, Michael Landon Jr. and I partnered together. We were friends. We made several movies, and then Michael had made a series of movies based on other Jeanette Oak books called Love Comes Softly. There
Oh,
were like 10 of those movies made about that series of books. And Michael said, you know what? There's this other book series the When Calls the Heart book series that might make another good project, either a movie or something. So we put our heads together and we tried to make a movie of that in 2009, and then the economy crashed. And I don't know, you don't remember this. You might have
We're
been
1 year
alive,
old.
but yeah, 1 year old. Well, the world was hurting. Like the economy was in a big problem, and we were in the middle of making that movie, When Calls the Heart, up in Alberta, Canada,
Wow.
and the money fell apart because the economy was shaky, and we had to close down the movie halfway. We were halfway through. We thought, oh no, this is the worst thing that can happen, and it truly was a traumatic experience for us. But we didn't give up. Like we knew that there was a good project there, and it took us 3 years to fix it. 3 years of beating our head against the wall, trying to figure out a way to finish that movie. We finally did. The Hallmark Channel loved it, and they aired it, and it did well for them. And they said, we're thinking of getting into the series business, like a 1 hour, drama business, doing series work. Would you guys want to make 6 episodes? And we just were so thrilled just to be able to finish the original movie that we just saluted and said, how high, like, yes, sir, how high do you need us to jump? Like, what do you need from us? And that's how it started. And when the movie fell apart in 2009, we thought our careers were over. Like, honestly, we thought we're going to have to go out and get real jobs now. Like,
Yeah.
this was bad. And we see a very big sort of spiritual lesson out of this. Had the economy not crashed in 2009 and we finished the movie, it would have been one movie. And I think that would have been it. But because we had to go through this wilderness experience like the Israelites did way back in the day, where they had to wander around for 40 years after escaping Egypt. And before they made it to the promised land, they were just wandering around the desert. And that's what those 3 years were like for us. We were just wandering around the desert trying to figure out
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
how to survive. And then we got to the promised land. We finished the movie. And not only did we finish the movie, but they said, we want to make a show. We want to make series out of this. Had we not crashed 3 years, 4 years earlier, I think it would have been one movie. And we may have never seen 150, 160 episodes of
Amazing.
When Calls the Heart. May have never met you guys. You may have never seen it on Netflix and
I
fallen in love
know.
with it and then watched it and binged it, all those things. So for us, that's a big giant message from heaven. Like God had a different plan for this,
I love
right?
that. Yeah.
Than we did. Our plan was very small. His plan was much bigger. And it's not because we're geniuses, it's because we were just faithful and we didn't give up. And that message, that lesson can apply to everybody in every phase of life. It has nothing to do with television, it has everything to do with persistence beats resistance. And that's a lesson that you can use in any part of your life, no matter what you do in your life for living or whether you're in school or whatever. Don't give up. Life is hard. Life is impossible. It always is going to be. The
Mhm.
best things that you want to do in life are nearly impossible, but you have to chip away at the impossibility a little bit every day until it's possible. And I really believe that. And so we're very humble about how this show began. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
Uh,
it definitely does. I mean, I love like the whole faith journey too. I mean, that is so us. We believe that God has a plan for all of us and he's he's always making a way, and even if we can't see it sometimes, it's always going to turn out better than we could have ever hoped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I love that, sometimes it's like something small can turn into something so big. So, yeah, and when you
Yes.
think that, oh, it's not going to turn out, but then you get something even more because you were faithful and you
Yes.
kept going. That was so good.
Yes, be faithful in the little things, and then God will honor you with the bigger things. I really believe that.
So, what legacy do you hope When Calls the Heart leaves? I know
Mm.
you kind of already said, like, similar to it's how already leaving a legacy. Yeah, the Gen Z, like, kind of like that, but
Yes. Well,
no more.
here I have more to say on that.
Mhm.
So, you guys have experienced just a taste of what has become a big fan army, right? The the fan army calls themselves Hearties. When calls the heart Hearties. And we met you guys in Kansas City on the When Calls the Heart weekend at the Hallmark Christmas experience. Um, there were thousands of Hearties there. There are, we think, about 2 million people out there who call themselves Hearties. Right? It's
Wow.
not us. We don't. It's not us saying it. It's them saying it. They say, "I'm a Hardy." Right?
Wow.
They identify. Um, we didn't invent the Hardys. The Hardys were a grassroots fan army that felt about When Calls the Heart the way you guys do. You fell in love with it. And you fell in love to the degree that you won't miss it, that you can't wait to watch it, that you'll watch it over and over again, right? Because you love it. You love that world so much. Again, it's not because we're geniuses, it's because people are starved to death for this kind of content and this kind of programming. Yes, we think it's a good show, but like we know that there's a giant underserved audience out there that's sitting around saying, please, more food. Like, please, we're hungry, more food. And this show becomes that for them. So I I believe the legacy is bigger than the show. The legacy of When Calls the Heart is all these friendships that have been created. And when you go to the Hardy's family reunion or you go to the Hallmark Christmas experience, you realize there's these vast groups of people that have become friends because the show brought them together. And those friendships will last longer than the show.
Mhm.
Like the show will be in reruns probably for a long time, but all I'm saying is that when the show finally ends all the original episodes, and we hope that's still many seasons away,
Yeah.
but who knows? Like every season we have to like push hard and keep the show going and keep the Hardys happy with what the show is as
Like,
much as
isn't
we can.
it?
And so I think the true legacy is, yes, the show will continue like Little House on the Prairie has. Michael Landon's dad's legacy
So
show,
cool. Uh-huh.
right? Little House on the Prairie is 50 years old.
Wow.
50 years old. Half a century is when that started. Okay? It still has all these fans of the show. There were 20,000 Little House on the Prairie fans who gathered like last year to go to a big anniversary, a big 50-year anniversary
Wow.
of
So
Little
incredible.
House, right? That's the legacy to me. The legacy is you guys. The legacy is people like you, friends like that you have, who talk to each other about the show, who have almost a church-like experience around it. We're not trying to replace church,
Right.
but what we're saying is that when people gather together to watch the show together in community, they get together. They have Hardy's parties all over the world to watch the show. We didn't invent that. Like that the show catalyzed it, but the people themselves are providing the legacy themselves. And those friendships to me will outlast the show. Those lifelong friends that you make around When Calls the Heart, those don't go away just because if the show goes away. So Anyway, I hope that answers your question
It
about
really
legacy.
is. Yes, it really is beautiful. And someday we hope to go to the Hardy's family reunion. Just hasn't happened for us yet. I'm like, we already want to go in September, but we waited too late. And we
Oh,
are going again to Kansas City this year, though. Yeah.
great.
Are you
That's
gonna be
great.
there?
I'm not sure we can make it this year. We hope we
Oh, I
can, but
hope so. Yeah.
yeah, it was so much fun last year to be there.
I know, and it'll be so exciting this year too because 1874 cast,
Yes.
more
Yes.
people to meet.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
okay, switching gears a little bit, to looking ahead to season 14. I can't believe like season 14. It's just crazy. Did you ever expect for I knew you were gonna say no because it's just wild. Like some shows don't even I mean, yeah, most shows don't make it this long. So
Yeah, we're in a rare category with how long the show has lasted. Now, there are some shows that are like we'll never catch up to, like Law and Order or
hey,
The
you never know.
Simpsons.
I mean,
Yeah, or Grey's Anatomy. Like I think Grey's Anatomy is like 23 seasons or
you
something like
never
that.
know though. I mean,
Yeah. Well, we'll trust me. We want to keep going. We want to try to get there. But it's up to the fans. It's up to the
I
Hardys,
mean, y'all
and it's
always say the Hardys, like, if they want more, then we'll make more. And I don't
that's
think
true.
anyone is slowing down anytime soon.
Well, we hope not, and we need for these networks to order the show. Like you have to. It's we make the like if you think of Walmart, like somebody makes all that product that's on the shelves, right? That's like us. That's our side. But Walmart, unless they order the product, it won't be on the shelves. So for us, Hallmark, Hallmark Plus, Great American Family, for the other show, we need them to order the show. So it's really, you have to have the Walmart to put your product on
That makes
display,
sense.
right? So we will keep making it as long as it's ordered. We hope the Hardys will keep the pressure on the network to say, "Hey,
Hmm.
don't you dare cancel this show.
Oh,
we're
you
we're
better
fine with
believe we're
that."
gonna keep talking to them.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
So,
looking ahead to 14, is that what you
yeah.
want to do?
I mean, yes, season 14, of course, everyone was so excited when Abigail Stanton stepped out of that car. Yeah. And we were all just shocked because she's been gone for so long, visiting her
Yeah.
mother, and who knows what happened with her now, but she's come back, and that was the season ender. That was
Yes.
the best way to end it, honestly. Like, and it was so even more of a surprise when we saw her in Kansas City too, and everyone was screaming with excitement,
Right.
like, "Oh my gosh, it's Lori! We missed
Right.
her." So
Right.
how did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, how
So
did you get her back? How now? We have so
well,
many
as
questions.
you guys probably have heard or read, Lori and her family went through quite
Hmm.
a harrowing ordeal together, and one that they will admit they made mistakes through this whole thing. Um, I personally think it was over. It was overkill. what happened to her family? Yeah, was it a mistake to push so hard for their kids to get into a certain college that they sort of bent the rules and all that? Yeah, for sure. Um, Parents want the best for their families and the best for their kids. Sometimes I have 5 kids, so I can relate. I know what it's like to push a little hard to try to move barriers out of the way of my kids so life is not too hard on my kids. That's a natural thing that all parents would do. Sometimes it's bigger than it needs to be, but um, as a result, Lori had to leave the show in season 6 of the show. Well, we're getting ready for season 14, so it's been almost 8 years
Hmm.
since that happened.
Crazy.
And it just was politically, the times were, there was just no forgiveness, that the culture was going to have for her. And it was, the news cycle was so toxic, and it just was it was necessary for that to happen. We felt horrible about it, but we never we never believed that Lori shouldn't have a second chance
Right.
in Hope Valley. We never believed that.
Hope Valley
And
is always about forgiveness, and so are all of
100%,
you.
100%. And that's for fictional characters. And this is where life and fiction sort of rub up against each other.
Mhm.
You know, we always believed, the producers, Michael and myself and our other writers and producers on the show, we always believed that at some point we need to figure out a way for Lori to come back, for Abigail to return to Hope Valley. And it took quite a while, quite a number of years of conversations and trying to figure out the best way to do it, to get past sort of the toxic politics around it. And I do think that became possible in the last couple of years, more possible than it was previously. So it really just was a matter of us working with Lori, working with the network to try to sort of bridge all the challenges about that, and it finally happened. And then I think you guys, I think it was at the Hallmark Christmas experience that they announced it, but then we also surprised all the people gathered there for the big When Calls a Heart night with our cast, for
Mhm.
Lori to join the cast once again on stage. And you're right, it was a huge uplift to all of us, to Lori especially, that everybody was so supportive and so loving and embracing of her.
Yeah, I
And
know
so,
that made her feel so good. I mean, like showered with love. Tears in our
yes,
eyes, and just we were all so shocked. I mean, you just had to be
yes,
there. Like if you
yes.
weren't there, like we already knew she was right, because yeah, that was after season
Yeah, it was
13 that
announced.
she was
We
coming back.
announced, the network announced that she would be joining season 14.
Hmm.
A little, maybe a few days before the Hallmark Christmas
But
experience.
the fact that she came out on stage, we
Yes,
didn't know she was going to be there. That was a real
right.
surprise.
Super exciting for all of us to witness that. And so we knew the audience was already prepped. The Hearties were already prepped for, okay, well, season 14's coming. Season 14 was already announced, so we got an early pickup of season 14,
So
and then Lori returning to the show was part of that whole announcement, and everybody was super excited to spring that announcement. But then behind the scenes, we were also sort of figuring, okay, how do we really make this special, and not just have everybody watching episode 1 of season 14 saying, "Where's Lori? Where's Lori? Where's Lori?"
that
We thought, let's surprise them early with
was the best.
her arrival, and so we felt like, what was already quite an amazing season finale with the Nathan and
A
Elizabeth finally getting the
proposal.
proposal, finally getting engaged on the water
Yeah.
tower. That was already such a big way to finish.
Hmm.
But then we had this one extra surprise waiting after
It
that.
was just all
And
around. It was like the cherry on top of the sundae. Yeah.
you could almost hear the audience across the country gasping, when that happened.
Mm,
So
for
it was
real.
super, super fun. Super fun.
It was.
Now,
And
now I see that you guys have like 9 minutes left. Are you okay?
oh, yes. It's gone by so fast.
Yeah. I
Nice.
mean, you can re-up it and then edit it together if you want.
Okay.
I can just dial back in
Yeah,
if you
I
want to,
guess we
but
can try doing that. We didn't
sure.
know.
Yeah, it's very easy to do.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just edit this part out. But let's see. So, Could you maybe tease what we might see in season 14? I mean, everything. Abigail, how is she going to be involved with the wedding, maybe? Do you know any of that? I'm sure he does.
It's all sort of being worked out right now,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm obviously not going to be able to give you any spoilers,
Right. No, we don't want
um,
spoilers.
but I think it's very safe to say that Abigail would never miss a wedding,
Right.
right?
Right. Exactly.
And and she is signed up because of her work schedule is getting very busy. A lot of other shows are wanting her back now, and
Uh,
Broad Sale Mysteries is being
I
rebooted for
know.
her.
That was so
Yeah,
exciting. Yes, we just found that out.
yeah. But I think it's she's going to be doing half of our episodes. So six, she will be there for 6 episodes. So I think it's very safe to say that in the 6 episodes she's in, one of those will have a wedding in it. And so, but weddings are always big to pull off,
Mhm.
right? In life and also in Hope Valley,
Mhm.
as you can tell. The from a storytelling standpoint, you want to make them as challenging to pull off as you can, just from a story standpoint, because it keeps everybody on the edge of their seat, waiting for it. Uh, but also from a production standpoint, they're much bigger episodes and so forth with more extras and more people and a lot more moving parts. And
So is
so
it safe to say that the wedding will be before the end of the season?
I'm not going to go there quite yet,
Ooh.
but you just know that Abigail wouldn't miss that wedding.
That's true.
So, however we parse out her 6 episodes along the way, uh, will obviously be a sign
I
of when
think
that
I
could happen.
understand. So maybe she's not in every episode, but it's like she's still there, and then maybe it will be towards the
Yeah,
end.
we film the way we film When Calls the Heart. We film it 2 episodes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called block shooting. So we basically film 2 episodes at a time, within six. So there's 6 blocks. So Abigail and Lori will be there for 3 of the 6 blocks of shooting. So, and they're done roughly. It takes well, it's 13, 14 days to film 2 episodes. So about 3 weeks. So each 3 work weeks. So Monday through Friday, we shoot Monday through Friday. So it's almost 3 weeks that it takes to film 2 episodes. So she will be there for a total of, approximately 6 weeks, uh, in the episodes. So
That's really
sorry.
interesting.
No, 9 weeks. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
So,
about 18 weeks to film all the episodes.
this probably won't happen right now, but speaking of like people returning, we loved Gwen last season, and I know a lot of Hearties did. Is there any hope for her returning? Somehow, babysitting Goldie or something?
I'm going to uh, how can I say this? Um, I'm cautiously optimistic that we will see Gwen again in Hope Valley.
Oh, well, that is music to our ears. We
Yeah,
like that.
she was super special last year.
Such a good actress. And I
Yes,
mean, we've seen multiple interviews like Calvin and Pascal and um even Alex, like they are just everyone is so good together and they have expressed the desire for her to just keep coming back and she's going places. I mean, she is
yes,
a great actress. She really is.
she sure is. Yeah, yeah, we're so thrilled with her and with the casting there. It was super good.
I mean, definitely. Oh, and speaking of the Coulters, this is just a fun little question. Do you have a favorite Coulter moment? I know there's so many of them. There's so many.
One of my favorite moments for Lee and Rosemary was when Lee when Goldie was born,
Oh, yes.
and
Oh.
when he goes outside of his house and is shouting from the rooftops that he's a dad, right? I just thought that was one of the most fantastic moments in
No,
the
it's
world.
so special because we wanted them to have a baby for a long time.
Yes,
And they did too, you know, so
yes,
that's a top one for
yeah,
us.
and we we try to do stories that, yes, it's set in the 1920s, the series, but we try to do stories that are still relevant for us today. And there are many, young couples, young families, young couples that go through fertility issues, right? And so we wanted to echo that, you know, that happened back then too,
Mhm.
right? And it's a very universal, relevant storyline to work with for even now. My own son and daughter-in-law struggle with fertility issues in their marriage, and we now have two beautiful grandchildren from them. So it worked out as it can, many times. And there's a lot of ways. We have two adopted children ourselves. We have three biological children, and Patty and I have two adopted daughters as well as our sons. So there's a lot of ways to build a family, and I love that kind of storytelling
Me
on
too.
When Calls the Heart.
So beautiful. So how about we do a part two to go to Hope Valley 1874,
Okay,
and
that
we
sounds
can
good.
ask you questions about that.